What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and today we're going to be talking about home defense, and everyone's preference is different. Some people prefer rifles. I prefer not to blow my eardrums out as well as other people's. But if it works for you, it works for you. I'm not against anything. I'm all for just having something to defend yourself, your family, and so on. Some people prefer shotguns. I understand that as well. For me, in my opinion, my safest bet is a pistol for home defense. That's what I train the most with. That's what I'm the best with. And on top of that, I think I found the perfect overall setup for this. But before we get started, hit the like button. Drop a comment down below. Tell me what your home defense setup is. Also subscribe. Right now I'm shadow banned a little bit. So if you guys could do that, that'd be absolutely great. Let's get into the video. So first off, I know a lot of people had comments about it in the past, but this was my home defense setup. I use a 17-round OEM mag with a grip sleeve on it, so it's 17 plus 1, 18 rounds of 9mm. And for home defense, I use 124 grain gold dots because I absolutely love Speer gold dots. I think they're the best defensive hollow point that is, full in weight. I prefer Civil Liberty defense rounds when I'm everyday carrying, but for home defense, that is definitely my go-to. But this was it. And they said, why would you have a Glock 26? That makes no sense. And I'm like, well, I shoot my 26 better than my 19, better than my 17, and I carry my 26 the most. So I thought it made sense having a 26 for home defense and a 26 that I carry. So basically, I'm not changing anything when I swap out. Let's say I go to the range, I shoot my everyday carry option, which is my Glock 26 the most, which I do shoot the most. And then I came home and I got the same exact feel, same exact recoil impulse, and everything is the exact same. So I thought that was smart. A lot of people gave me crap for it, said that's stupid, said it doesn't make sense. Why would you have a subcompact, blah, blah, blah. So it is what it is. I still didn't listen to them, and I still kept this as my home defense firearm. But then recently I made a video talking about how I think I was going to swap out to my Glock 19. Once again, it can take the 17-round mag, it can take the larger mags, but I just love my Glock 19. It's been 100% reliable. It's on its second barrel, but I absolutely love this thing. It's a great overall shooter, and I got the TLR-7A Streamlight on there, and just a good overall firearm, very ergonomic for me, the Gen 3. And these are some of the most tested firearms in the world, some of the most battle-proven, battle-tested firearms out there, so absolutely can't go wrong with a Glock 19. But then there's this firearm that has such little recoil in 9mm. It is so reliable. The whole company has been reliable for me, and I've owned many of them. On top of that, they came out with an amazing magazine for them, and it just runs flawlessly. So I'm going to show you my new home defense setup. Let me know what you think of it in the comments. This is the Springfield Armory XDM chambered 9mm. Now I know people are going to say, get the 10mm, get the 10mm. I love this thing, so I know for a fact if I got the 10mm, I would be in love as well. So that's definitely on the list. But my XDM has a good amount of rounds through it, as does my original XD. On top of that, all my Hellcats have been 100% reliable. On top of that, my Hellcat Pro has been reliable. My old XDS I had was reliable. But the craziest thing is, look at the setup right here. This is 36 rounds of 9mm. And not only is it 36 rounds, it's with an OEM mag. This is a Springfield Armory magazine. This was made specifically for this firearm and to run and not have any issues. Yes, the Glock has a 33 round. This is a 36. This thing is an absolute beast, right? On top of that, we have this Olight right here, which I just showed in a new video that I released on the 16th. This is the PL Turbo Valkyrie. This thing's an absolute beast of a light. It lights up my whole house, but mainly it lights up my target perfectly, but also leaves a lot of light in that backdrop to see, multiple targets or attackers. I can also see what's in the background if I ever have to defend myself and make sure nothing is there. But I've thoroughly tested my XDM Elite, and it's been flawless. And the things I really like about it are, one, how heavy that slide is. Now, for everyday carry, it may be a pain carrying the XDM, but some people do carry it, and there's nothing wrong with that because it's an amazing firearm. But the overall weight of that slide handles recoil. It is a beast of a slide, but there's no recoil in this firearm. You can literally one-hand shoot this with no recoil, no muzzle flip, nothing. Also, adding that light weighs it down a little bit. I think this is 800 lumens or something like that. 800 lumens, I believe it is, and the throw is 515 meters, something. It's a crazy light, but that even adds some weight to the front. And on top of that, I like having shorter barreled firearms. I am used to having compacts and subcompacts, so being able to grab this feels right at home to me. Yes, it's not the most ergonomic with the mag well. I know you can take that off, but I don't have a problem with my pinky sitting here. Never had an issue with reliability or anything like that. Things I like about it as well, is the overall texturing is actually pretty good. It's weird, but it's good. It's not what you would think of texturing, like little beads and, like sandpaper stuff. It's just like these little, it sort of looks uncomfortable, but it actually feels really good in the hand. One thing I definitely really like about this firearm, though, is that trigger. Yes, it's not the lightest. Yes, it's not the shortest reset, but it's a great overall trigger, and it just has a good feel to it, right? It's just got that good, crisp feel. On top of that, my groupings are ridiculous with this firearm. Comes with nice sights. They're not night sights right out of the box. It's a U-notch rear with a fiber optic front. So at some point, I'm going to have to get some night sights on there. But with a light on there, you don't really need them. This throws enough light to see your sights in the dark. It is what it is. I've already tested it through my house. And that is a big thing. With home defense, the big thing is before anyone even gets to your house, have cameras, have security systems, have a dog, have a plan. That is the biggest thing. Having a plan, knowing what to do with the children, the wife, where everyone goes, what you do, who's grabbing backup mags, who's grabbing backup firearms, stuff like that. So if it ever did happen, it's second nature to you. But I think this is a great setup. I know it's a little overkill with this mag, but at the same time, at home, and you don't have to worry about concealing, you don't have to worry about anything. This is just going to be ready to go in the safe. Boom. Fingerprint. Boom. Now you got safe, Olight, ready to go. So I think this is the perfect home defense setup. And even if you have it in 10 millimeter, I can't argue with that. I'm not the biggest fan of 10 millimeter for everyday carry, but for home defense, I'm all for 10 millimeter. 10 millimeter is, like a one shot stopper, basically, in my opinion. So I might even have to pick up the XDM 10 millimeter and make that my home defense. But this Elite is probably one of the most slept on firearms in the world. I know the Echelon came out and all this stuff like that, but shooting the Echelon compared to my XDM Elite, I don't even think it's comparable. My XDM Elite shoots so much better, but once again, it is thicker. It's more similar in size to XD versus something like a Glock 19 or an Echelon and so on. But I love the XDM, and once again, it just runs. It eats everything. And this barrel, it's got so much wear on this thing, so much wear and tear. This thing's actually dirty right now for me using it recently, but it just runs. It doesn't matter what you put through it. You can run steel through it. You can run anything. And I've had this for a couple years now and absolutely love it. So let me know in the comments what you guys use for home defense. Does this make sense to you? Going from a Glock 26 for everyday carry and stuff like that, but coming home to an XDM Elite for home defense that has zero recoil in 9mm. Once again, 36 rounds, but not 36 rounds. 36 reliable rounds. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching.